The only person worthy of killing Macbeth is one not of woman born, as if the taint of womanhood spoils all real men. So much of this play is caught up in phallic imagery, the dagger and all of that. So much of this play is caught up in macho posturing. Lady Macbeth is obviously a kind of castrating figure in many respects. Lady Macbeth is an example of strength. Lady Macbeth is an example of determination, fortitude, ambition, all of these things that are generally coded, I guess is the term that we can reach for here, coded as masculine. And when she is saying, unsex me here, take my milk for gall, that whole speech, she is specifically and explicitly rejecting the stereotypes of femininity. By being Lady Macbeth to Macbeth, and that focus on the two of them as partners, they almost function as a single person. They are that tightly webbed together. And I think you could argue that the name issue, Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, has less to do with diminishing her than it does emphasizing how they are two sides of a single coin. And perhaps they are stronger because of that, you know? Lady Macbeth is a fascinating figure. There's something beating in there that you sense a real person within these terrible acts. The anxiety about seeing Duncan of her father, the little slip about the child that she once had, the desperation she must feel to find some identity for herself because she can't be a mother. Lady Macbeth is perhaps just what the world sees her as, and she understands that. And so her entire sense of identity is what she can enact, what she can will into being through her husband. But if you think of this heartbreaking portrait of Lady Macduff right before she is murdered, that very domestic, maternal scene is really quite sweet. You can deride it as, well, that's just the ideal woman as seen by a male patriarchy, and you wouldn't be wrong about that. But there is something really quite touching about watching that woman talking to her precocious young child. And as I said, the gentlewoman who is sort of a handmaiden to Lady Macbeth has some pretty intriguing lines in a very brief appearance at the end of this play. There is a sense of personality there, of a human being there, that is very effective. Okay, yes, the witches too. The witches are arguably also female characters, and they are evil. The witches are coded as female characters, even the joke by Banquo about their beards. So yeah, the overwhelming evidence that this play is portraying a negative overall portrait of women. But significantly, I would say that Lady Macbeth and the witches are cast as unnatural in that they have gone beyond nature. They are operating in a realm outside of nature. Lady Macbeth is not a mother. She does not seem to have the standard female feminine characteristics, and so she is different for whatever twist of fate made her so. But she and the witches are outside nature. But those other characters are seen as very much within nature. Lady Macduff, very much so, and also I would say the gentlewoman, who is one of it, and Shakespeare does this a lot, where you see characters from the periphery, and often from like lower classes, who only have a few lines here and there, and you might automatically ignore what they're saying, quite frankly. Well, that's just another character walks on. But you got to listen very closely to what they say, because very often he will put significant points in their mouths. Or I would say with the gentlewoman, just the fact that she is an ordinary, relatively ordinary person, horrified by the acts of Macbeth, and giving a sense that everybody knows this, and so it is a sign that Macbeth has lost the country. He cannot rule if he does not have the people behind him. So critics have pointed out that, well, that trouble with Not of Woman Born is Macduff completely free of the stain of femininity, and that's why he can ultimately kill Macbeth. It's troubling.